Hi class, welcome to another tutorial on CS384. This is our introduction to module 5, which covers basic data types in Python, which are list, tuples, dictionary, sets. Okay, so we will look at them one by one. So we will start with list. I gave you a brief introduction to list beforehand, but let us revisit it. So list is nothing but like an array in C. You can define your own lists in Python, but lists in Python are very powerful as compared to arrays in C, right? Because in Python you can basically have a list. For example, subject here is a list having physics, chemistry, and two numbers. C does not allow you to make use of such arrays, right? That have dissimilar data types. This is a string, this is a float or an int, right? So numbers list and character list, you can have as many as list you want. The only thing to note here is list in Python have a square bracket data type. Square bracket in the end. That is how you identify a list. Tuple, when we will see, tuple has round parenthesis, just like when you call a function. Okay. So let us start the program. This time I'm defining a function called clear the terminal screen. Okay. So I may call it then and now again so that we can clear our terminal to see lesser outputs. So this time I'm having three lists and I'm just printing the values of three lists. Let us check the output here. Okay, just a minute. This will come here. And at this point, I will exit the code. So exit is an inbuilt function in Python. So the moment the program encounters exit, it won't go further, even though the program is logically and syntactically correct. Right, so this was a simple output. If you see, I had three lists, and I'm just printing the values of those three lists. So as it is, they are being printed. Now let us try to index the elements of a list. So if you see here, I have a subject years, so subject years, and I'm printing the value at index 0. So at index 0, you have physics. So the output will be physics. And list starting from index 1 up to index 5, but not including 5. Okay. So what does this mean? I start the numbers list. So numbers list is this. Starting from index 1. So this is index 0. Starting from index 1, which is 12. And then going up to index 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Right? Index 5 is not there, but not including 5. Right? So basically, we will go from 1 to 4, basically. So index 1, 2, 3, and 4. So let us check the output for this code. So you see, subject 0 was physics, which obviously is what we desired, right? Subject 0 was this, and numbers less 1 to 5. So 71 is ignored because it is indexing 0, and then all the four numbers are printed, right? Python does not check here for the higher end. So for example, if I write 12555, right, we have only 5 elements in the list. So Python will not throw an error, right? It will try to print everything, but it knows that beyond 4, everything is null. So it just shows the truncated list automatically, right? So there is not a syntactical error. Now let us try to go further. So what happens if you want to modify the list? What will be the syntax? So let us say we have a number list 71, 12, 53. And now what I'm doing, I'm saying that, okay, in the numbers list, right? Numbers is this list. So in the numbers list, I want to identify, I want to change the element which is at index 2, which is 2001. I want to make the new value, right? So let us do one thing. We will first print the number list as it is, and then try to change the value. Okay, let me keep the exit function here so that you don't see a ton of outputs. So this was my original list. Value at index 2, this is 0, 1, and 2 was 53. New value is 2001 because we assigned here 2001. Right? Finally, what we are doing, we are printing the same list. So now the same list has 53 replaced by 2001. Now we can replace it. I am replacing the number element of 2 with a joker. So 2001 is replaced by a joker. So as I said, in list, basically you need not worry about the data type. You can have characters, strings, and you can have a list within a list. You can have a tuple. You can have anything within a particular single list. Okay. Finally, how do you delete the element of a list? So for deleting the element, so for example, my list is this right now. So I'm deleting number of list and then giving the index 2. So element at index 2, which is Joker right now, will be deleted. So just check the output for this. See, there was Joker in the list. When we deleted del is the keyword. The Joker is removed and we have 71, 12, 44 and 502. So you could see how easy it is in Python to basically code these things. Okay. To find the length of a list, we use the function len. Length of the list basically you can be obtained from here. Okay, so the length of the number list is 4 because the list had 4 elements. Remember, Joker was removed. Okay, let me just print the list first. The length is 4. Okay, now this also we have briefly seen how can we access list. So we can access list basically using a for loop, right? So for x and number list, what was our list? 71, 12, 44 and 502. So for every number, it will iteratively go one by one. First, it will read 71, then 12, then 44, then 502. Let us check the output. So you see, we have this list 71, 12, 44, and 502. Okay, I forgot one operation which is concatenation. So you can concatenate two lists. I have the character list A, B, C, D followed by a number list. You can use the plus sign to concatenate, and this will result into A, B, C, D 71, 12, 44, 502. Okay. So very simple, but I need to introduce you to all these functional elements. So there is negative index in Python also. So for example, if you have a list 71, 12, 44, 502, -1 will refer to the last element of the list. -2 will refer to the second last element. So whenever you have the negative index, begin from the ending part. So what will be -1 is 502, -2 is 44, -3 is 12, and -4 is 71. Similarly, you have min-max, right? So min-max will be what is the max element of this array is 502 and what is the minimum element is 12. Let us execute the code. So you can see the last element is 502 that we access using index of -1. Then we had 44, which is second last element. Now the max element in the list is 502 and minimum is 12. So you can see that very well here. So Python, even for calculating min and max, has a function on its own. And then this is how list unpacking is done. What do you mean by list unpacking? See, I have two variables here. Remember our swap program, a comma b equal to b comma a. So subject years will get this particular list and numbers list will basically get this particular list. So for finding max in numbers list is easy, the highest number. For finding the max in the subject list, basically you compare string by string. So C is compared with J, J is compared with P. So the highest thing is Python. Internally, basically it uses the ASCII codes. You can just Google ASCII table and then get the code. For example, capital A to capital Z has an ASCII value of 65 to 90. Small a to small z has 97 to 122 and 0 to 9 has 48 to 57. So this was the basic operation on list that we have seen. We see you in the next tutorial.